Carrying on in chapter 8 of the book of Joshua, in the first couple of verses, I read the first one the other day, but I want to read it to you again. The Lord said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid or discouraged. Take all your fighting men and attack Ai, for I have given you the king of Ai, his people, his town, and his land. You will destroy them as you destroyed Jericho and its king, but this time you may keep the plunder and the livestock for yourselves." This is in contrast to Jericho, you may recall from the previous chapter, where all those the people and the plunder were given over to God. Set an ambush behind the town. And that's how chapter 8 verse 2 finishes. So victory is coming. See, God can be trusted. God is the one who said, look, hang in there, don't be afraid, don't be discouraged, because I'm going to bring about a great victory. I've mentioned before, and I mentioned last time as well, that sometimes victory in our lives is simply keeping going. Much of our lives is made up of ordinary, everyday events. There's nothing that attractive, perhaps, in our daily routine. We get up, we get washed, we have breakfast, we spend time with God, we go to work, we come home and we have meals and family time, and we do chores and we pay bills, and we get stuck into all the normal avenues and activities of daily life. We have a dog, so we walk a dog twice a day. It's the same old thing again and again and again. How exciting is that? Well, the truth is that when we invite God into the ordinary becomes extraordinary. And so often we can despise the ordinary, and we're looking for something so out there, so exciting. And yet, in reality, what can be more exciting than seeing God transform our ordinary lives and speak into us in those moments for his honor and his glory? See, victory is coming. God can be trusted. Perhaps you've been praying for something for years and years, an unsaved family member, or a medical situation that you've been battling for. And it's just hard to keep going. You know, I don't know whether God will answer that prayer for that healing or for that job or whatever it is. But I will say this, that God's heart is to be in relationship with his children. And I believe that can be through amazing victories like a healing, or through a financial provision, or through a new job or a new home. I think that relationship can be enhanced at other times through suffering, through challenge, through difficulty. And I believe that we need to develop a theology of suffering that does not say God is unable to deal with these things. But the most important thing is that we are in relationship with God, and whether that's through a victory of overcoming something or the victory of walking through it, either way, God is honored and glorified. See, the victory is coming. Don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. Obviously, we prefer to be taken out of a situation. We prefer to have the healing of the amazing financial provision. Absolutely. And yet, if our relationship with God will be enhanced through walking through a valley of suffering, or of a lack of financial provision where we are just trusting God moment by moment for everything, then that can be a victory too. I was minded of when I came back to the UK in 1991, I got a job at an insurance company as a computer programmer. And I was glad to get the job, and we were expecting our first baby, and it was necessary to provide for the family. I'm very thankful to the Lord for that. And yet at the same time, there was a little twist in my thinking which said I won't have to trust God quite as much, because when we were students living in the States, or I was a student and Paige was working at that point, we just saw God bring breakthrough time and time again as we trusted him for the little things and the big things in our lives. And I wondered whether we would lose that sense of closeness. See, victory can be the day-by-day struggle, as well as being removed from a situation. So God may take you out of a particularly difficult scenario, or he may say, I'm just going to walk with you through. Either way, victory is coming, and God can be trusted.